machine will be moving too fast for the pilot to make decisions.
This time, they had made a little mistake in how they hooked up the roll gyros. When it broke the link on the escape rocket. The escape rocket fired, pulled the command module right off the top. It was a perfectly successful flight, very well instrumented flight. Gave us all the data we needed about the launch escape system, but the vehicle had failed in the process.
The test vehicle, designated the Apollo Saturn 500F, will never make the journey to the moon. It is, however, used to verify launch facilities, train launch crews, and develop test and checkout procedures at the Space Center. The first flight rocket will later make this trip. The transporter moved the Apollo Saturn V slowly towards the pad. The total weight of the rocket, mobile launcher, and transporter is 18 million pounds. This massive load moved over the specially constructed crawlerway at speeds up to 1 mile per hour. The mammoth tracked vehicle, weighing almost 6 million pounds, performed perfectly during the historic test of the new mobile launch concept.
Spacecraft and all the launch support operations well at time at 90 seconds and counting. Houston flight now confirms that they are go for the flight, as are all other aspects of the mission. T-minus 1 minute, 16 seconds and counting. The pressurization continuing within the vehicle at this time. We also have a hydraulic commit that will permit the hydraulics to drive the engines in the first stage. Liquid hydrogen tank in the second stage now pressurizing. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. T-minus 60. Our status board still shows we're go at this time. T-minus 50 seconds and counting. We have transferred to internal power. The transfer is satisfactory. The 6.2 million pound Saturn V launch vehicle now on its own power at 38 seconds and counting. To repeat, the ignition sequence will start at 8.9 seconds. We'll be looking to lift off at 0. T-minus 30 seconds and counting. We'll count down from starting at T-minus 20. T-minus 25. Stage is reporting ready for launch. T-minus 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 5, 4. We have ignition. All engines are running. We have liftoff. We have liftoff at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The tower has...
My God, our building's shaking here. Our building's shaking. Oh, it's terrific. The building's shaking. This big glass window is shaking. We're holding it with our hands. Look at that rocket go into the clouds at 3,000 feet. The roar is terrific. Look at it going. You can see it. You can see it. Part of our roof has come in here.
The rocket equation. It's a beautiful thing.
John, is your S-band switching TR, and I'll give you anything you need. Just ask. Go ahead. Okay, the time of DOI, Charlie Brown, is 099er 460089er. Minus 00699er. Plus all zeros. And minus 00138. That's 981 for DOI. Okay, phasing is 100. 58 2520. 981 is plus 01666. Plus all balls and minus 00594. And verify your TR switch is an S-band TR, John.
Snoopy, Houston, it's a ground.
Okay.
It's a Snoopy, Houston. I'm breaking in. It's a ground problem with the CSM. We're losing it. We got the downlink to Goldstone, but we're not getting it here in the MCC.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you, this column has got to be fixed in the next couple hours, Charlie, so tell them to get with it.
Roger. Houston, Apollo 11, over. Roger, go ahead, 11, over. You're picking up our TV signal? Affirmative. We have it up on the IDA-4 now. The focus is a little bit out. We see the Earth in the center of the screen. Still have a little white dot in the bottom of the camera, apparently. And see some land masses in the center. At least I guess that's what it is. It's very hazy at this time on our IDA-4, over. Let me change. I believe that's where we just came from. It is, well, I'm really looking at a bad screen here. Stand by one. Hey, you're right. Not bad, that's not fine to be on the right landing spot now. What? It's not bad enough not finding the right landing spot when you're going to get the right planet. I'll never live that one down. We're making it get smaller and smaller here to make sure that it really is the one we're leaving. Oh, that's enough, you guys.
Okay, Houston, I'm going to move the TV camera now.
Roger, Al.
Hey, it's real nice moving around up here. You don't seem to get tired. You really hop like a bunny. Where is Earth? There it is. There's the TV. And, let me see. Pointing towards the sun, that's bad. Over here a minute. Dump. There's that. Look at that go. I was going to deploy this 20 feet at 10, but because of the sun being where it is, we're going to have to deploy it a little bit more towards the 2 o'clock position. I think that'll be okay, though. That'll give you a good shot right in here. Let's see if I can keep the sun from getting in the camera at all.
Al, we have a pretty bright image on that TV. Could you either move it or stop it down?
Okay, I'm going to have to stop it down. That's as far as it goes, Houston. How does that look to you?
No, it still is the same, Al. Why don't you try shifting the scene?
Look at that circle right there. Oh, yeah, too bad. You get around there. Hey. Ready? Here we go. Good ball, attaboy. A little more. A little more. Looks like you're going to have to do the bulk of the work today. More. Keep it taut. Attaboy. Okay, we're coming up here, 45. Up to, easy, Jim, easy. Okay. Here, let me help you. Take it easy. Take it easy. Give me a hand. Okay, come on up. Come on. Easy. Just about it. Okay, just pull. Just stand there and pull easy. Forget the picture. Just pull real easy right there. Okay? Still easy. Go ahead.
40 there, Jim.
40 there, Jim. Okay? David, the walking huge again. Come loose? Yeah. Let's see, Houston, the walking hitches are unlocked again, is that right?
They're supposed to be unlocked now, Dave.
That point? They're supposed to be. Dave? Oh, okay. Once you see those things unlocked up there in the those position, it doesn't give you too good a feeling. Looks like she's coming down okay. No. Hey, can you pull it out a little bit, Jim? About that. That looks good. Okay, that's good. Outrigger cables are, I don't want over there, it's not. Okay, outrigger cables are loose.
Roger.
So what's the rope? And what's the glass ball? Raj, I got it. The outrigger cable is loose. And off. Okay. Okay, let's come down with the left tape. Easy does it. It's coming okay. Okay. Hey, it looks like it's loose to me. Okay. That's good. Okay. Let's just go put the... Come on over and we'll, hey. Man, this thing's nice and light. Check the old hinge pins. Oop. Out. And out. Let's see. I got a hinge pin out. I'm going to get you the tool. Maybe you can reach it, Jim. Maybe I can reach it. Hey, Jim? Yeah. I need you to get this hinge pin over here, okay? Hey, let me get this. Oh, shoot. See my hinge pin on my side? Yeah, it looks like it's almost all the way in. Yeah, but not quite. How about put the tip of the tool on it? Push it. There you go. Okay. Now let's line this up a little straighter. Let's pull the rear end back towards me. Okay. There. Okay. Okay, Jeff, the end pins are good on my side. Okay. If I can get this telescopic lights on. Okay, Jim, hold on a minute there. I'm not sure the telescoping rods are disconnected. Let's pick it up and move it back and turn it around, okay? Okay, turn it, what, your way? Your way. Okay. They're not disconnected. Let me put it down right there. And maybe take it forward a little bit, huh? Oh, the pin's out. The rods, the whole saddle up there is still on. Both pins are out. See what I mean? I think we maybe lift the front end up, can't we? Try. Let me get in there and lift it up maybe here. Let me pull it just... Wait a minute. Let me twist it this way to give you a little more room. Good saddle. You'll never get in there with a twist, Jim. Right, too tight? Yeah, forget it.
Jim, verify you pull the saddle pin, please.
Yeah, the saddle pin has been pulled.
Right.
Somehow. Okay, Joe, the situation is that both pins are out of the saddle, and it still seems to be connected to the frame of the LRV.
Roger, we copy and we're working.
Okay, let's finish cleaning up the rover, huh? Yeah. I remember a guy who once said dirt, and it is ever. Kilo has never been used, is that correct? Stand by. Houston, while you're looking that up, you might recognize what I have in my hand is the handle for the contingency sample return. It just so happens to have a genuine 6-iron on the bottom of it. In my left hand, I have a little white pellet that's familiar to millions of Americans. Drop it down. Unfortunately, the suit is so stiff I can't do this with 2 hands, but I'm going to try a little sand trap shot here. They got more dirt than ball that time. More dirt than ball. Here we go again.
That looked like a slice to me, Al.
There we go. Raise the die. One more. and miles and miles.
Very good, Dan.
We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. Show you what a guy could do on the moon with a backpack on. But
Now, for a 380-pound guy, that's pretty good.
they threw that out. Yeah, jump flat-footed, straight in the air. 300, about 4 feet. Wow. Charlie, that ain't any fun, is it? That ain't very smart. Well, sorry about that. Right now we do have some work to do. How about a hand, John? There we go. The probe is out of the ground up to B8. Right on the line between B7 and B8.
Okay, Baker 7 and 8.
Charlie, what? Something happened here. What happened? I don't know. Here's a line that pulled loose. Uh-oh. What is that? What line is it? That's the heat flow. You pulled it off. I don't know how that happened. Go loose from there? Yeah. God almighty. Now I'm wasting my time. God, I'm sorry. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. Yeah, it's sure going.
Did the wire or the connector come off?
Just broke right at the connector. The wire came off at the connector.
Okay, we copy. Okay, I guess we can forget the rest of that heat flow.
Yeah, I'll go do the, all right.
Now for your pan, and don't forget your scoop.
I won't. Ah! You don't mind a little dirt here and there, do you, Gay?
No.
Oh, dadgummit. Well,
Hey, Gene, would you go over and help Twinkle Toes, please,
I'm
Gene?
really... I tell you, you fix that camera bracket so the bags stay on and I'll be a lot better off.
Roger.
Get off. I don't really think it's worth it, is it?
Not bad for UV close. Can you see me, Bob?
We're watching Gene right now. You disappeared out of sight a long while ago, Gina. Hey, you just came into sight again, Jack.
Hey, let me enough room to deploy the heat flow. I'm going to. I'm looking for a place away from craters and rocks. That's why I didn't land up there.
Flight EVA. Good. The CDR is 20 minutes behind the stage.
Okay, I think I got a place. And I think it'll also give you a spot for the neutron flux that's sheltered from the RTG.
Okay. You say you have a place like that, Jack?
Well, pretty much, I think, Bob.
Okay.
Let me work on it here a little more.
Okay, and right now you're about 10 minutes behind the timeline, Jack.
Okay. Bob, I'm only going to spend another minute or two on the fender. We'll catch up.
Flight EVA.
I never thought I'd be out here doing this.
Right now.
Well, I tell you.
Yeah, you said about 1 more minute or so.
Okay, I'm going to go back this way. Central Station can be near a crater. It'll be pretty good. That'll put the lean right out over there, which is probably all right. The perimeter out over there, which is probably all right. Gonna put your drill holes a little too close to that rock, though. Bob, ask Mark if he's worried about rocks as much as craters.
Okay,
I got a rock about 2 meters in diameter, partially buried.
Can you copy that experiment? I copy, Flight.
That one of the probes may be near.
Stand by. That's defined near.
Well, it could be 10 feet.
Flight exit. Okay. Flight out.
That the weather is no problem. About 2.5 hours ago, they finished fueling this rocket. This is known as the SL-1, Skylab 1. And if you're into facts and figures, they put 917,000 gallons of kerosene, liquid oxygen, and liquid hydrogen in all 3 stages of the vehicle, which stands 33 stories high. And that portion you're looking at there is the lab. And the second stage, first stage, you can see there the liquid oxygen venting off of the first stage. They keep pumping fuel into it until right at the last minute. Over in the control center, the men are ready for the launch. As John said a minute ago, they've been conducting a double countdown. They are now into an automatic sequence, which means that a bank of computers is handling all of the last-minute details, getting up ready to launch. Again, the 3 astronauts go into orbit tomorrow. Everything has to go well with this launch today. Several things have to happen for it to be put into the proper kind of shape for them to join it. But again, there have been no problems. And we are going to join now, I think, Chuck Hollingshead, who is the voice of Skylab, for the countdown to the launch.
And liftoff. Liftoff will follow an ignition at 8.9 seconds. We just passed the 90-second mark in the countdown. At 8.9 seconds in the count, we'll expect to get an engine sequence start on the 5 first-stage engines of the Saturn V. They'll build up thrust. That thrust will be monitored. The vehicle will be held down for the full 8.9 seconds, and we'll expect to get liftoff right at T0. We're approaching the 1-minute mark in our countdown at this time as it proceeds smoothly. Mark, T-minus 1 minute, and continuing to count. A water deluge system now has been turned on, activated at the pad area. Pressurization taking place now, the various tanks aboard the vehicle being pressurized. Switching to internal power. All stages switching now to internal power. All propellant tanks being pressurized. Count continuing smoothly. The water at the pad covering the flame deflectors. Now we've passed the 30-second mark. Water also will be coming on to the decks of the mobile launcher at the ignition point. T-minus 20 seconds, and the countdown continues to go smoothly. Guidance release. T-minus 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. We have ignition sequence has started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 0. And we have a liftoff. The Skylab lifting off the pad now, moving up. Skylab has cleared the tower. Houston is now controlling.
It's a very important moment for those men in Houston to see if their supposition, the profile they've drawn of what they think Skylab looks like from their telemetry data and from a long-range secret Air Force camera actually matches what they're going to see now close up from the command module television. If we get that picture, let's hope it comes up shortly. Be hearing here from the spacecraft mostly the voice of Captain Pete Conrad.
Tell me if the workshop is fire intact.
Stand by one, I'll check. Hang on.
As a matter of fact, you don't have to tell me. I thought it was flying through clouds up here, and every time it fires a tax puff, I can see it, and it's just a big burst of gas out of it.
It's talking about the attitude control system, of course.
Oh, the Skylab.
That's
Skylab.
Pete, you're right. We are fine.
Man, does this shoot a big cloud out when it does that? I can already see the partially deployed solar panel. That's CS1, right?
That's what we think. And CDR Houston, in about 1 minute, we'll be starting the Swiss maneuver, and I'll let you know when we issue the command.
Okay.
I got that confirmation from Pete Conrad that indeed one of the solar panels is there and partially deployed. Looks like they're looking back into the spacecraft.
They've got a reflection off their spacecraft window.
No, 1,000 feet.
He's changing lenses, it appears. It's now smaller.
You guys get TV, Houston?
Roger, Paul. We do have TV, and it's kind of hard to see right now, but it's getting better as you get closer. And Skylab Houston, we've issued a maneuver to the Swiss. You ought to see it move a little bit.
Okay, I saw the tax fire.
But it is, Dick. It's a very high contrast target. It's hard to get that sucker right on TV so you can see anything.
It's so bright to get the light adjustment, and this is what he was complaining about, is very difficult because you have, as you mentioned earlier, the blackness of space and yet the brightness of this object in the sunlight.
PLT Houston.
My opening on it?
It seemed that he could almost use a filter on that, wouldn't he?
On the pipe.
And PLT Houston, if you have a chance to answer, we'd like to know what the light setting is on the television. Maybe it'll help us tune ours up.
Better switching back and forth between peak and average to try to get it, Dick.
Roger, Paul. Copy.
I'm getting the best picture on peak, which is what you got right now. And look, it is just not convenient for me to get my head around to read the numbers to you.
No, that's okay.
That's Paul Weitz, who's operating the camera. He and...
I gotta get break, man. I don't like what's going on.
But what you try to do is avoid motion, relative motion, rather than closing, of course. And it's drifting across the cockpit slightly. That's what he meant by he didn't like what was going on. It's just he wants to smooth off the final phase of the rendezvous. Sure don't see those solar panels deployed other than the classic wind raft.
They may have lost the picture for good here.
Fuel area is solid gold.
Roger, copy.
Looks rather smooth. Fast wing number 1, you can see it. It looks like it's a good 15 degrees. Around the top on this side. Okay, let's go around. I gotta get some photos now. 2, right? 2 is gone. Completely off the bird. Solar wing 1 is in fact partially deployed, and the reason that you got different readings, not symmetric between your 3 solar panels, is there's a bulge of meteorite shield underneath it in the middle, and it looks to be holding it down. I think that we can take care of that with the SEVA. It looks, at first inspection, like we ought to be able to get it out. The gold foil has turned considerably black in the sun.
Roger, copy. Very good, N2.
The solar cell is clear. There's something. Hey, Houston.
Go ahead.
On the vent modules, all the covers are still intact.
Roger.
The covers did not leave the vent modules on wing number 1.
Copy.
Can't tell which way to point this son of a gun from the...
Roger.
Okay, Houston, are we too close or too far for you?
I think you're real good, Pete. We can see that whole wing.
Okay, be advised we have all 4 service module quad lights on from overheat. They're reading 200 degrees.
Roger.
It's a pretty good picture now, huh? See, that arm is supposed to have extended all the way out to a 90-degree angle from the spacecraft, and then to have dropped down like a Venetian blind, a whole series of solar panels, which would have created, on one arm, 6,000 watts of power.
The thing is, TV set's too big for in here.
Roger, we're looking at it. I assume you're pointing just about in the place where the meteoroid shield is underneath the wing. Is that correct?
Well, I'm trying to, but my picture is turned inside out and backwards, and the camera hangs up in here in the couch structure.
Roger.
Okay, Houston, it looks like the meteoroid shield at the upper vent panel on the SAS wing has wrapped around it just slightly. My guess is that our easiest thing to do is just go to the end and try and deploy it. Point it. The damn spacecraft keeps drifting. I have a hard time getting the thing to related.
Well, hang in there, Paul. It isn't real steady, but every now and then we're getting some pretty clear views, and we can replay it.
Outside the window there.
And Pete, one question that I would like to ask you, and that is, you said you could see the butterfly hinge a while ago. Could you tell us the condition of it?
Well, the butterfly hinge is underneath the SAS wing all the way on the far side of it, and it's up.
Roger.
I mean, I didn't even notice the feet.
It's inside the cockpit now.
Said he was within 5 feet of that antenna that drags out.
Wrapped around it from the other side.
spacecraft's about 25, 30 feet.
Yeah, but the one thing that's bothering me though is that if this was the wing that was down and locked, and then they opened it, then it pulled that meteoroid shield as far as it did. It pulled it 18. That's a hell of a good point. And that's where it's hanging up the solar panel right at the upper vent plate. Does that make sense to you, Houston? The upper of the three vent plates, which is just below where the meteoroid shield starts, the top part of it starts. That part is wrapped onto the sand beam by about 3 or 4 inches.
Roger, Pete, and I think you gave us a real good picture of that piece of metal just a second ago.
So with us, Houston?
Affirmative, sure are. Still got about 9 minutes left in this pass.
What time is it? Tell me when daylight is at night, 8:24.
CDR, Houston, you still got 21 minutes of daylight, and it's at 8:26.
Now, where would you like to go, anybody? I gotta get away from this. Shall I get down?
It's great to have Pete back up there again.
No, I think we
will entertain it.
Oh, we got it.
He's a good talker, too, which is a good test pilot. He's giving them everything they need to know.
I got to get out of the way of the disc cone.
But he's
Get down and drop below it.
in that spacecraft, and of course...
They don't work very good or high contrast.
If their speed and attitudes aren't exactly matched, why, you got to fly it, because they get drift into each other.
You get TV out your window.
And all of this data can be played back over and over and over again for analysis, which is important. And if you didn't say anything, there wouldn't be any data.
Right.
That's quite right. It's very hard to train someone to talk.
Of course, that's exactly what they're going to be doing, is playing back these pictures over and over again, stopping the action, studying it, and then in conference with Conrad, Weitz,
CDR, Houston, we've seen enough television to let us think a lot about this. You're cleared to turn off the TV and complete any photography you haven't gotten, and you're cleared for soft dock.